instance, because they're trying to make a living,
Yes.
right? And it isn't just like, this is fun. But when I go to Japan, I see lots of hobbyists who you know, kind of content with the job they have, and this is something they do on the side. And I think in India we have different circumstances in each country as we see it happen in school. But I guess you know, to me it doesn't. I don't care what the conditions are. Much as Ilham was talking about, is we really want to get more people touching technology. But really, I think the thing we've tried to do around the maker thing is to frame it not just in terms of the technology, but in terms of the people, what people can do with it. So when you see people here, I'm going to call it this young man here that he's, I think if I'm saying right, you're in Singapore now, but you moved here a couple years ago. And just tell folks here tell them about your remote thing, just the kind of project you've done there.
So I'm a hobbyist and I like making, and my current project's a generic gyroscopic wearable remote. So it's
That has 3 long words to it. So.
Because it's so long, I called it Wear Remote.
Okay.
It's like a finger sleeve currently, and it has an IR emitter, and it can recognize gestures and it can control selected devices with the same remote. So for example, if I flick up, it'll change the channel, but if I select my AC, the flick up will increase the temperature. And I think will just make life easier, especially with the number of remotes around the house we have currently.
So now tell me a little bit, what's your next step on that? You developed this, came out of your head, you developed something. Did you do this at school, or did you do this on your own?
This is completely a personal project.
Exactly. So what are you going to do with it next?
I want to see the response from the Maker Faire, and I think
Yeah.
the Maker Faire gives an excellent platform to see response from the public.
Right.
And I hope it's positive, and if it is, I hope to develop it further and send it to China too.
Well, let me throw that a bit as a question. Thank you for telling us about what you did. But there are, like you were saying, there are a lot of people like Nev out there. And the question I have, if they're in your country, right, what would you tell them about, you know, how would you support them? Or how could your country do a better job of supporting them? You know, and I'll bet that you learned a lot about how to do this online.
Yes,
Okay.
especially with the open source information available
Right.
today.
Right. So anybody in your country could have learned to do this, right? The thing that your mom mentioned to me that how many other makers do you know?
For me? Or
No, your Nev.
that? How many makers do you know?
A lot, but I think
Do okay.
of my age, there aren't that many who I know, but I'm sure that they're there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, the question that I'm asking a little bit is if you can connect Nev to other people of his age who are doing creative things, they can actually learn a lot from each other. So that's kind of one of the answers. But let me ask, we'll start with you. Just kind of give us quick answers of if you have, and you undoubtedly do have